Hey, what's going on? It's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. Man, we got some stuff to talk about this week. First of all, the long-awaited return of Jon Moxley. I'm sure Tom's really excited to talk about that. I know Derek is too. Mustafa Ali requests his release. Denied. We'll talk about that. Did Cody Rhodes cut the promo of his career on Wednesday night? Could we have a special return to the Royal Rumble? We'll talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about GCW and NXT 2.0. Is it a disappointment internally within WWE? And of course, match of the week right after this.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
What's up, bud?
Yo,
Hey,
how art thou?
I just
I'm
got a text
feeling
message
alone.
from Derek. He's pooping.
It's gonna be a while.
So, he said I'm wiping my ass and I'm coming. So I'm not really sure how much longer we're gonna have to wait. I mean, you know,
It'll be a while.
if he indulged in the wingatry like you and I did earlier, I mean,
the wingatry.
it might be a little while because
You got to be smart and sit down at 7 o'clock on the throne. Oh, there he is.
Oh, look at that.
Did you have some wings as well? Is that why you had to go poop?
Well, I did the other day, but
But they came out today.
you guys ever eat like whole food for you the next day?
You ever
Dude,
use
put-
your expensive
you ever
podcast
use your-
microphone?
You ever use your microphone for anything other than going bang bang?
Dong, dong, burn, burn, burn.
Yeah, I have a furious butthole from eating too many Oreos. And it was time. I've been paying the price today.
Did it
Too
come out
many
black?
Does
Does it come out
Yes, it
black?
does. Yes,
Coming
I
out
hate it.
black?
It's
That's
terrible.
the worst.
Yes, it's getting better though, so I think we're nearing the
good.
end.
Starting to come out a little bit brown now.
Yeah.
It's not just.
Sorry,
it's not
fellas,
just-
I really am. That was
It's
not.
not. It's not this color anymore.
Horrible
Oh,
timing.
Unbelievable.
way to kick us right off the rails right as you pop into the studio.
I mean,
Welcome,
he
Derek.
is the popper of rails.
The popper of rails.
Good. He popped me.
Swing and a
Really?
miss, pal.
I got a laugh out of it. Furious
Hey, so-
butthole.
So Tom, your sister's favorite? I'm confused.
Well, I know that neither of you have a sister.
No.
And both of your mothers are lovely people. So this is actually, to all of the listeners, I'm their sister's favorite. And probably their girlfriends, too.
That's fair. Hey, Derek's
for sure.
Derek's mom is absolutely a lovely woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
your,
know.
Your mother was, too.
Yeah.
I don't want to insult anybody's mother. I love your mother. I mean, your mothers are great. But,
Yeah.
neither of you have sisters, but you know what? Your sister can eat her. Everybody else's sister can eat their heart out.
I just
Good
don't
on
understand
you.
where she went wrong with Derek. That's all.
Well,
Same with Walter. He's not much better. He taught me everything I know about washing dishes with a garden hose.
taught me everything I know about exterior illumination.
Thanks, Art.
Thanks, Art.
So, hey, listen, lots of fun stuff this week, right? Overall, wrestling wasn't terrible. We were getting close to the Royal Rumble. A lot of things getting
Rumble
built on, and
Yeah, it wasn't so much. Although there were some good matches, but it was more Rumble build than anything else. I feel like that was the real that was my when I had to go back and look at like what I wanted for match of the week, I was like, well, I remember all the segments that built to what's coming at the Rumble, but what the hell did I even watch wrestling wise? And then I watched back like, right, some of these were good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some good
I was
shit
thinking the
this week.
same thing. It's like there was a lot of segments that stood out to me. Not so much the actual matches. It was more of like, oh, that was good. That was good promo.
Yeah, it was very story heavy this week.
Yeah.
I would say in both promotions.
I was
But,
almost like, is Mox's promo my match of the week? Could that be a thing? Came out, dropped an F-bomb right away on TBS.
So I watched the replay, the on demand.
Yeah, I watched it live.
Oh yeah. So
It
is
was,
that left in there?
It was gone.
Yeah, no,
Gone,
he right away. It was like it was like 801 F-bomb. Bam.
So did you guys see this shit that's going on today? The rumor mill is churning today. Anybody been on the old Facebook or Twitter?
No, I've been deep into spreadsheets, so I have no idea what's going on.
Nothing from today that I realized anyway. I don't think.
I mean, I feel like they've been pushing for a Ronda Rousey return since Ronda Rousey left. So is this really news? Is she really going to come back?
I was reading into this a little bit because
I guess she's still under contract, right?
She is still under
a 3-year
contract.
deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as WWE tends to do, they will probably just add that time onto the end of her contract because she's been off on you know what I mean? So her maternity leave. So I'm sure they'll add that to the end of her contract. So we've probably got another 2 full years of Ronda Rousey. So why not kick it off right here at the Royal Rumble? But digging into this a little bit, from what I've seen, is they are kind of really heavily suggesting that she is going to be at the Rumble. Lots of outlets are reporting on it right now, and as always, we trust friend of the show, Sean Ross Sapp, for
do trust Sean Ross Sapp,
his integrity in his wrestling journalism. So the fact that he's not confirming that this is a thing tells me that it might not be a done deal, but it does absolutely make sense, right? 100% has to make sense.
I mean, if he's the one reporting on it, then it's there's something. It's not.
Yeah,
he's not pulling that out of thin air.
And if we remember correctly, SRS is the one that actually dropped the news that Ronda Rousey signed with WWE. So that definitely could have some correlation there. But hey, man, you know what? I really like that they're putting the Women's Rumble in the forefront this year. I feel like they're really trying to make the Women's Rumble something special. I mean, obviously we've got Mickie James, and from what I understand, they're going to actually let her carry the Knockouts Championship to the ring for her entrance.
That's pretty cool.
Which is kind of a big deal for WWE, right?
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, they're pushing. So the other thing they're doing too is they're teasing a maybe one more run for Lita. Which would be, truth be told, would be really good, because if you'll remember correctly, Lita's actual career, not just like the show up spots here and there, actually ended with her crying and running away as people threw underpants at her. So
yes, because they had the Lita garage sale or some shit like that, and it was her underwear, and then I think there was a vibrator or something in that box, and if I'm not mistaken, that was that was Luke Gallows that was holding the box.
It was, and that was the end of Lita proper.
Yes.
At that point. So while she's made a few little comebacks here and there, had some matches, a real run has not been in the cards, because that was the end of it. So rather than have that be the final point of her legacy, I wouldn't hate to see a quick 6-month Lita run, maybe from the Rumble through Mania, something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, she could absolutely be somebody that would be believable enough to knock off Charlotte Flair.
I mean, she's only 42. It's not like she's 100 years old. She's she's Mae Young.
Looks great.
She does. She's in great shape.
Absolutely looks great.
It's not like she's super old. She's 42. She could do it. She's younger than half the dudes on the roster.
Yeah,
I was gonna say AJ is 45 probably.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's up there, bud. Yeah. But again, I like that they're positioning this women's match a little bit, and I guess they invited the Iconics to come back, and they were like, "Nah, we're good. We're
I
good.
feel that.
Good choice.
I do too.
Truthfully, God, how do they? Of all of the releases, I'm like, I look back on the icon of the women anyway. I look back on that one as like, how did you met? Like, it was finally over, and then they were just like, oh, we're gonna break them up, and now it sucks. Even you know what though, Billy Kay's singles run where she's like trying to find a partner and like trying to be friends with everybody.
Oh my god, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was
It was
pretty great,
hilarious.
honestly. Yeah,
it was funny every week. It was funny.
Resume and headshot.
Yeah, it was funny every week. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I don't know. So yeah, I would tell them no if I were them too, because they got over despite everything else, and
They're getting over right now, man. Like
they're over AF right now.
That's the problem with WWE is it's an uphill battle. You got to get over despite Vince giving you a horrible gimmick basically 90% of the time.
Here you go. Here you go with your fucking hatred. How about Seth Rollins? How about Seth Rollins calling out Moxley's name?
I liked it.
I did too.
I liked it a lot.
Got all the little internet fucking keyboard boys all fucking.
I mean, you got to remember these guys traveled together for years, so I mean, they have to still be in touch. There's no way
I'm
they're
sure
not
they still
still
text.
in touch.
Oh, guaranteed.
There's no way they're not still in touch. So it's one of those hoobie-doobs.
So, full disclosure, right? I really wish they would have just like let the Usos beat Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and let Roman Reigns not defend the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble and just let this Seth Rollins program go all the way through WrestleMania.
See, I think they've got other plans for WrestleMania.
And Brock Lesnar. Ooh,
I know, right? Woohoo!
Like,
I think Bobby's going to beat Brock. Honestly,
that's very possible. And then Brock's going to lose the WWE Championship, and then all of a sudden find himself in line for Universal, and it's the same Brock Lesnar bullshit that we get upset about all the time.
Yeah,
as
but
opposed
Brock's
to just letting him be this lovable idiot that he's been.
Yeah,
I mean, I do love it. I just don't think he's full time between now and then.
Can we just have him be undisputed for a while and hold both belts? That's what I would prefer. We can still recognize both belts. Have him. He's Brock 2 belts.
Brocky 2 belts. They let Becky do it.
Yeah,
they let Becky do it.
Please do it.
At
least it'd be something different.
So I will say this, and as far as segments that stood out this week, they have over the last 2 weeks, because this is sort of this Seth versus Roman thing is sort of built out of necessity because Roman got sick because Roman got sick for the last pay-per-view when he was supposed to face Brock, and then and Drew got hurt. So this sort of Seth versus Roman thing is built out of necessity, and it really they had like 2 weeks to build it, and kudos to Seth and to Roman. I'm invested now.
Oh, for sure.
They built something out of nothing, like that. Just those two.
That's why they're top guys.
That's why they're top
exactly
guys.
why they're top guys. Exactly why they're top guys. Speaking of top guys, Tom, your favorite top guy.
I hope he's back to be a top guy. He
made his triumphant return. Look how slim he looks.
Look how he looks lean, and JR said it, looking lean and mean.
Renee Paquette tweeted out to last night. She was like, watching my watching my baby daddy with abs or some shit like that. Like, so she's into it. Did you see this shit about Bully Ray saying that Moxley should have fucking apologized to the fans?
Yeah, I saw that.
What a fucking turd! Like,
what? Bully Ray should apologize to us for being an idiot.
Like, and then last night at the GCW show, they were chanting "fuck you, Bully."
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out to you guys. Is like I actually watched that earlier today, and it's like, oh, nice, very good.
He's the only person that thought that too. From the reaction, like at no point did I think, I wish Moxley would apologize for going away and getting better. It's like, do people apologize when they like, I hurt my knee and I had to get surgery? Sorry, fans. Like, no, this is the same kind of thing. It's just, it's different.
Yeah.
You don't apologize for,
taking care of some shit.
Taking care of business and getting yourself healthy, whether that's rehabbing a knee or, fixing your life. It doesn't. It's all the same. If
all
he'd
rehab.
got COVID, if he'd got COVID, I wouldn't have expected him to come back and apologize to me. It's like it's not a. Yeah, no, it was a dumb comment. I think after he made it, he thought it. He immediately found out he was an idiot, and I think that's that.
And the thing is, like,
Good litmus test there. Am I an idiot? Yes, you are.
Yeah, bad take. Very bad take.
No, absolutely a bad take, right? And it's like I listen to Busted Open, and like for the most part, man, Bully's got some like really good opinions on things, and like his stance on things generally is the way that I see things, right? And man,
this felt out of left field.
It was bad.
It felt out of left field. It was like he shouldn't like that was it was for starters, it's not a thing to like comment on, really. Is it? It's not even a like it's not even a thing you should have an opinion on. It's like the man left.
Well, the worst part about it is when he left to go to rehab, they were on Busted Open singing his praises about how brave he was that, to be this macho wrestler and to admit that you have a problem. And he was talking about how like back in his day in the locker room, like that kind of stuff would be frowned upon and you'd be perceived as weak and all this stuff. And he was very much singing the praises of Jon Moxley, and then to come back and be like, I should have apologized. What?
Apparently he was having a flashback to his old locker room.
Apparently he was drunk that morning because
yeah.
Look, just because you wake up and have 5 or 6 Bloody Marys doesn't mean you should talk on the internet about
it. His wife's leaving him. He's raging.
Oh, is that really what's happening? That sucks.
Fuck him.
I don't know. I'd still watch another Dudley Boys run if they came back.
I mean, it was Velvet's guy, so she's kind of.
I mean, I think Devon's actually older too. He's like, Devon's what? He's probably in his 50s at this point.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Devon.
I'll tell you what, Devon's kept it professional though, as far as how their relationship has deteriorated over the years. You can tell that it has. But the way he speaks, he never speaks ill. It's just, we don't do stuff together anymore. It's basically
and you know what? Bully Ray takes that stance too. And like, so that's good because, I mean, they have a legendary career together. Like, they're WWE Hall of Famers together for a reason.
Get the tables. Devon, get the tables.
Isn't he a reverend or a preacher or whatever?
No, he's a producer for WWE.
Yeah, he works for WWE still.
Was he not a legit preacher for a minute? Did he not get licensed in that?
I don't know if he actually got licensed, but I know he played one on TV.
He did play one on, and Batista held his box.
Batista held his box.
When real life and wrestling just kind of,
I don't know what was in that
your
box.
brain, and you just don't even know. I don't even know what's real anymore, guys.
I don't know what was in that box, but I know that Batista hit people with it. So
yeah, because it was like he had just come up from OVW as Leviathan, and then next thing you know, he's wearing a contribution box on a giant dog chain around his neck. Yeah.
Man, that Batista though, however old he was, 28-year-old Dave Batista was
a big motherfucker.
He was the most terrifying. Like, I remember watching him go, "Oh my god, look at the size of this man!" And like,
he's a big motherfucker.
This was the time when WWE was still the land of the giants, right? Like, everybody on that roster was 6'6", 280 pounds, right? And fucking Batista walks out. Oh my god, look at the size of this man! Look at the size. He is a truck wide. He is like fucking just.
You measure this man by trucks.
Oh my god! Yeah, you have to. Look, in America, we measure everything by everything except for like meters. I will not use meters. He was as wide as an F-150 and as tall as one standing up.
He was a big motherfucker. But but like it was good to see Mox back though, right? Like
I loved it. Happy. I
thought
I popped. I loved
great spot to start to show off and just kind of get out there. The promo was dope. He's like, I don't run from. I don't run. Yeah, he told the guy to go fuck himself.
Yeah, right away.
I guess apparently the dude screamed something about him being a drunk or something, and
it didn't come across. But yeah, right away.
Like, good on Mox, man. But when he's out there and he's talking about the dream that he had, you can hear the emotion in his voice, right? Almost like maybe he's telling a true story. Like you can hear he's talking, when he's talking, like he gets a little choked up talking about the dream and the demon, the cloud, right? And he says, I don't run from demons. I just beat the shit out of them. Hey, man.
He said the only thing he's drinking now is blood.
Yeah.
And he's going to do whatever he wants. And I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, man, that's top guy stuff. So whatever he did, he left because he realized he was not a top guy. And that was the problem. And he fixed the problem. And now he's back. And he's like, I'm a top guy. And I'm like,
he was a top guy.
All right. Well, he's a top guy. He's back. And now he's a top guy.
I'm just excited we get to have top guy conversations now that he's back.
You know who aren't top guys? Make me mad.
Who?
FTR.
They're okay.
But
I enjoy FDR, but they've not done much. I'll give you that.
Well, I know what. That's a rant for a different day.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Derek, tell me about Moxley, bud.
What did we went out? We went out for non-alcoholic beverages the other night.
I can't stand you.
We had a great time.
If you would ever just give me an opinion on something, fucking like without me having to like set you up to give you an opinion, I think that like 9 times out of 10 you're content to just sit there and stare at Tom.
Tom has a lot to say a lot of the times.
I'm Derek's favorite and your sister and everybody's sister.
Yeah, there you go. He had a great match on GCW. I'll tell you that against Homicide.
We'll talk about that later, bud.
I can't talk about.
If you were here,
I'll just shut up and go back to looking at
time. You would know.
It's fine.
It's okay. Hey, so listen, random thought, right? So I'm sitting here. I was laying on a couch over here the other night. Big friend of the show, Pat Martin, sends me a text message, and he was like, Derek used to be my favorite. Now I think I'm a Tom guy. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why all of a sudden just he randomly sends me this text message. But Derek, you lost Pat. He's no longer Team Derek.
I'm gonna work on that. That gives me motivation to come back.
I think I convinced him that Cody Rhodes was not the best.
Unfortunately for Tom, this means that I must speak over him consistently.
Penny, what are you looking at? My cat is staring at the wall like there's something there.
Maybe there is.
Thanks, guys. There's a ghost. There's a ghost in my...
It's Nick Gage.
Now Tom's going to be looking over his shoulder every 10 minutes.
What the fuck's she doing? I can see her in the camera. She's saying it over there.
Cody Rhodes.
Speaking of guys that aren't top guys.
What are we doing? Oh, Tom, no. Did you see the promo that he cut?
Yes. It was a Cody Rhodes
tell us
promo.
about it, Derek.
I was texting you about it the whole time, saying this is fucking awesome stuff right here. We're gonna get a ladder match out of this. I'm happy with it. Which, of course, we're gonna see Cody's probably gonna win, and he's gonna have a nice little picture with him holding 2 belts.
Is he gonna fall off? Is he gonna fall off the ladder?
Love ladder matches. So I am all about this coming Wednesday.
I like ladder matches too.
Yeah,
I can't say I don't like ladder matches. Is there gonna be a table on fire again?
No, I think he learned his lesson on that one.
I hope so.
I would hope so. Yeah.
I hope so.
I mean, he came out spitting some fire, though, and saying, basically, it's heel turn Cody time, fellas. The time has come.
He said he's not turning heel.
Oh, but he is.
The things that he said, right? He's like, you asked me why I won't turn heel. It's because you cheer for me. And everybody's booing him and shit. Oh, yeah, dude, he's working everybody right now. I'm into it.
Oh, yeah.
Cody Rhodes, # top guy.
# fuck off. Also, Cody Rhodes is like, as he's having his promo, the picture in a picture is of the Go Big show, and it's dudes getting hit in the nuts. Cody Rhodes is literally the host of the Get Hit in the Balls show. He is the reality. He's Ow My Balls. He's the Ow My Balls guy.
Yeah, I've tried to watch it and I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Ow My Balls.
I'm not into this kind of shows, man.
That's because it's not Idiocracy, and we're not go away baiting. This is where we are. That was that Ow My Balls show. That's this Go Big. That's this Go Big show. That's literally what this is. We are living idiocracy right now.
Well, I mean, he's the American nightmare, baby.
I mean, at
What if
least
he comes out and he's like spraying Mondo? Was it Mondo?
it was
It's
Mondo.
what plants crave?
It's what plants crave. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've already look. What was Terry Crews' name in that movie? He was the president. He was Camacho, Mountain Dew.
I can't remember.
He was the #1 porn star, professional wrestler. Yada yada. I mean, we didn't have that president. We had Donald Trump, which is worse. Which is
Dude, I ain't
worse.
gonna lie.
Oh, here we go.
I wish we'd have had President Camacho instead. But I mean, everything else is still like God. Idiocracy was not supposed to be a blueprint for how to run the rest of time. I mean, but somehow that's where we are. That's where we are.
That is where we are. I'm not gonna lie.
And,
I
and,
agree with you, Tom.
Cody Rhodes is part of it. Cody Rhodes could be President Mountain Dew Camacho, #1 porn star wrestler
Cody
of all
Rhodes
time.
is gonna be because he's coming out here, and as we've already said, letting it develop, and here we are. He's turning, boys. He's turning.
I'm
It's
not gonna
coming.
disagree
It's
with Derek,
getting better.
I thought the segment was dope. I really did.
Segment
Right up
was-
until he climbed the ladder and he was like, "Ooh, like, bro, you can't climb a ladder in them loafers. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
Somebody should have ran out and pushed him off the ladder. I was waiting, but like, wait, no, there's no more heels. Heels are like, look, if we go out there now, Cody's just gonna bury us. Let's just let him bury
Yeah.
Sammy. Let's just let him take that golden shovel and bury Sammy Guevara like he did everybody else.
and we're just
Because-
gonna not touch him." And
Because that's what's gonna happen. Literally, like he's gonna.
Oh yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
he's gonna beat Sammy again. So he's gonna be 3-0 over Sammy Guevara, one of the pillars of the friggin' company. Just gonna beat him, probably clean as a whistle. Sammy's gonna be dead, like in the crowd somewhere. He's gonna pull the belt down, gonna beat him clean as a whistle. Look, I don't care if you like the promo. The whole of it sucks. Okay, Cody Rhodes, everything about it sucks. And then Cody's gonna go off. He's gonna film this Go Big show. We'll see him once every 3 weeks, and they'll be like, "Oh, Cody left. Cody's back. Cody left." And he'll have to come back and make a triumphant return and give a big verbose promo. Oh, I just can't be this way or that way. Do you ever notice like he leaves? You don't see him for a few weeks, and then he comes back and has a big promo, and then he has a big match, which he doesn't earn. I thought wins and losses mattered. Do wins and losses not matter? Apparently not if you're Cody Rhodes. I don't care what he has to say. I don't care what he has to say. I don't know. That's all I got.
you don't care what Cody has to. What is
How
wrong
would
with you?
Why would I care what Cody has to say?
Because he's a top
Why would
guy.
I care? He is not a top guy. Why is he a top guy?
Because-
Explain to me why he should be a top guy.
He told us he's a
He
top.
paid a lot of.
Oh, because he
Money to
told
be
us
top.
he's a top guy. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Because so I'm a top guy. I am the top guy.
Shit, no.
No, I am.
Only in
Look,
Pat's eyes.
I said so. So I must be.
Yeah, but you're not Cody Rhodes.
Okay, so,
No,
so
we're
how
on the-
does that
we're
work
on- I'm talk-
similarly to with Sammy Guevara as a pillar of AEW? Just because they said that doesn't make it true.
Sammy's better than Cody.
Sammy is better than Cody.
I didn't say he wasn't, but I'm just trying to make a point here that just because
Sammy's
you
a
say
Spanish.
that this is the case, you know. Okay, let's be honest here. Sammy used to come out with
That's the
fucking
point
panda
I
head on
made.
his head.
That's
Like,
the point
off
I
of his
made.
head. What the fuck
Just
was
because
that?
I said that was dumb is what it was. I think I went on record at that point to say it was dumb. It's dumb.
He should totally thank Chris Jericho for making his career what it is today.
He did cut that shit. He did cut that shit out, though. To be fair, I mean, look, I'm fine with look, if you have a dumb idea and you put it out there and it's still dumb and it doesn't work, and then you cut it out, it's like, okay, fair, you tried, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. It's fine.
I mean, things have turned around for him. He's a Spanish god now. He's
Clearly.
with
Spanish
Ty
god.
Conte. Not a bad choice of backstage
No.
ladies.
Hey, listen, Pam was a lovely woman.
Well, you know, apparently not lovely enough.
I mean, he just proposed to her live on television like 4 days ago, and now he's a Ty Conti.
I think it was in
Bitch,
November.
die.
but
Have you
still-
seen that over there? Mm-mm.
I think it was in November actually, but yeah, it was like, why would you do this on TV?
Yeah.
They caught all the heat on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Caught all the heat.
Well, you know, every profession has a romance scandal. I mean, you know, this is just 2022 Edge and Lita.
This isn't that bad. That was good.
No.
That was.
Oh,
I don't know.
This is going to be the start of one. We're getting there.
I don't know.
Chris Jericho moves in on her.
Good. He could leave his wife, who's a traitor. Jericho could leave his wife, who's a traitor to my country.
You know who's not leaving? Mustafa Ali.
No, he's not.
Look. So hashtag Free Ali has been trending on Twitter for like 4 days, right?
No
And
way.
everybody is getting all up in arms about it. But I guess SRS said that there was an argument with Vince that may have led to Mustafa Ali's WWE absence since November. Man, I don't know like what the legitimacy is to this. I'm sure this is just WWE journalism spin, but I think that Mustafa Ali is a very talented performer who deserves much better than he is getting. Now, granted, he is in the new land of the Giants, right? I mean, they are moving back towards that stigma in WWE.
Yeah.
But I think my man deserves a little bit better. So what are we going to do? We just going to stash him in catering, or is he going to go full on Pac Neville and just say, I'm going home?
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, they still got to pay him if they're not going to release him.
Problem is with COVID, how easy is it going to be to go home? Well, as long as home is here.
Hold on,
Chicago.
Yeah, he's from
from
Chicago.
Chicago.
He's from Chicago.
He's like a former Chicago. He's a former Chicago police officer. Actually,
yeah, you can just. I think he still owns a house. I think home is still Chicago.
Yes, home is still Chicago.
Yeah, he just. Well, where's he gonna go? Back to Chicago.
You're good. Then you just got to deal with a high crime rate. No problem.
So
ain't even that high. Like, look, he's made more money than you or I have ever made. I'm sure he can afford to live in a place in Chicago or in the suburbs of Chicago where the crime rate ain't so bad.
Yeah, just like But so
That's what Walt did. Walt lives on a golf course.
It's
true.
That's right. I have an armed security guard at my front gate.
You do?
I tried to come over drunk one night. It was not good.
Wow.
Derek got thrown out.
Listen. Big Vic's not a nice guy.
That's good. Shit. That's awesome.
Calls me up and he's like, "Hey pal, I got this little drunk dickweed down here. I'm gonna fucking shoot him. Like, don't do that, bud. I'll be down to let him in. It's okay.
I'm gonna shoot him 5 times."
But I'm in the background going, "Hit me 9, make it 10, so I'm better than that 50-cent feller."
But listen, like, I don't know what to take of this, right? Like, but you sit there and you scroll his Twitter feed. Man, people are trying to eat him up on Twitter, and he's just not having it, right? Somebody called him an Islamic extremist earlier today. Yeah. The man's from Chicago.
He's from Chicago. It's because he's of like descent.
Yes, like come on, man. He's a fucking police officer from fucking Chicago. Like, get out of here. But again, I mean, we don't know what his message is. We talked about that last week, right? But as far as from a wrestling standpoint of things, it's like, hey man, use him or lose him. Let him go. He's in the prime of his career right now, and he could absolutely go and have a stellar career somewhere else. I could understand why they wouldn't maybe want to cut him because he is of the AEW prototype, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he's a guy that could show up and light. He's a guy that could show up and light it up because
he can
he's
talk.
Not tiny, and he's not tiny. Like he's not like he's 200. He's probably 6'1", 200 and 220 pounds. Like he's not a little guy. He's just not 6'6".
He's just a little guy.
He's not 6'6", 280. Right? He's not like he's not Roman Reigns. Right?
No.
He's
right.
He's not a
and he can
boy.
talk.
He can talk.
He sure can.
I mean,
absolutely.
He can work and he can talk. He is absolutely a star waiting to happen in another company.
Well, and he looks legitimate. Like he looks strong, right? Like he's got a good physique as well. Like he's not like in AEW, he would be built better and be a little bit bigger, or at least on the same size as everybody else, but he would be in better shape. Right,
Yeah.
like for the same reason they wouldn't let Ricochet go, right? Like a guy that's six nothing, shredded like Jesus, and just can flip better than all the Young Bucks and all the Lucha Brothers combined.
Don't you dare disrespect the goddamn good name of the Young Bucks.
Look, they just need to let the balding the hair go. It's the widow's peaks getting in there. They gotta let it go.
I think
going.
You got to respect the strategic headpieces. Headdresses, maybe even you could say, that they utilize to get around that, though. I respect the headdress game.
I was listening to Grill and JR on
them
today.
And LeBron. Them and LeBron.
I was running around on a whiskey hunt today, listening to Grill and JR, right? And he was like, "You know what pisses me off? Headbands that don't fall off in combat."
Did he call that out?
Like the Young Bucks.
There's only two people that do that.
Move. He's like Charlie Haas with the
man.
No, who was it? It wasn't Charlie Haas. What the hell was the sphincter with Billy Gunn? Chuck Palumbo. He's like
Chuck Palumbo, yeah.
Chuck Palumbo with the thing, with the headband that doesn't fall off.
Your JR impression is terrible, by the way.
I was on point, and then something happened here. By the way,
super terrible. That's the worst JR impression I ever heard.
Fuck you, pal.
Yeah, for real.
Sassafras. But
I popped Derek. I did it. I've been trying for like an hour.
What is this?
Been trying for 36 minutes to pop Derek. Finally, 36 minutes later.
Oh, I about said something really crude because I watched Fight Club earlier today, but I won't do it now.
Why?
Because Meatloaf just recently passed, and he was the guy with the huge sweaty titties. And you're going over here like
R.I.P. R.I.P. Meatloaf.
His name was Robert Paulson.
You mean the guy, the Truffle Shuffle guy?
No, Robert Paulson. R.I.P. Meatloaf.
Did you disrespect Meatloaf by calling him the Truffle Shuffle guy?
Meatloaf was
he made
Scott
love by the
Ian.
dashboard headlight things.
He's Scott Ian's, was Scott Ian's from Anthrax, his father-in-law. Scott Ian, the guitarist from Anthrax and primary songwriter, married Meatloaf's daughter.
Also, he was in a wonderful Tenacious D music video.
He was, yeah.
I like a good meatloaf. I don't put ketchup on mine though.
No, that's nasty.
No, ketchup's good, especially if you put it on before you bake it. It gets like crispy. Super good.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You want crispy ketchup on there?
Sometimes, yeah. It's pretty good.
No, man. Portia puts like brown sugar and regular sugar and fuck knows what else in with the ketchup and the whatevers. And that's an after sauce. It's an after sauce. It's delicious.
It sounds like dessert.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on down the hall? Hey, rot your fucking stupid ass teeth out.
You can't have any pudding until you eat your meat. I just get around the rules. I just eat my pudding with my meat. It's fine.
Put the pudding on the meat there. Ketchup pudding on the meat.
It puts the pudding on the meat, or it gets the hose again.
Put the pudding on the meat. Okay.
Hey, so listen.
What else we talking about today?
We talked about this last week, right? Bray Wyatt's Wyndham Rotunda's new little YouTube channel, right?
Right.
It might not necessarily actually be his, but he's got to be pretty heavily involved in it, I would imagine. Well, he posted again here recently, and I was quick to point this out to you guys.
We talked about it.
This is a little screenshot from the video.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm fucking up all sorts of levels.
Nice. We're going to that. Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I mean, he could. I mean, that's pretty bad Photoshop. So like, probably not. But like,
yeah, it's because I did that. That's why.
but like, if he shows up at, because it was just the arc thing. Like, if he shows up at the Rumble, like, what if this was all a work? What if like his getting fired, getting let go, was just like so he'd go film a movie. A horror film. Alexa's back now. She carried the torch for a little while, then she had to go even
though it was terrible.
It was better towards the end, but it was really only like the
I
last.
didn't hate it nearly as much as you guys did. It
like
really
the
wasn't
last,
that bad.
like the last 3 weeks were fine. When she stopped being magical, it was better.
That's fair.
I like, but like she's coming, she's back in vignettes. She's probably going to be in the Rumble. I would love to see if it's not going to happen. Like it's not. Like I'm not trying to hype myself up to be like, oh my god, he's totally coming back. He's not. He's not coming back. But if he did, what a great work! It would be the best work of all time, right?
Oh, absolutely, be the greatest work of all time.
Because then it's
except
just
for Cody Rhodes.
Still to see, TBD. But if he comes back at the Rumble, greatest work ever. If not, I will not be shocked.
Not at all. I mean, I'm not I'm not sitting here anticipating.
No. What?
Let me in.
Number 15. Oh, is it going to be number 15? No. 16? No. 17? 27? No.
I think there's zero chance it happens. Zero chance. He has no contract. We would know.
We're living in the land of the forbidden door, bud.
You don't know that.
There should be no such thing as a forbidden door. This is the stupidest concept.
All I'm saying is Jeff Jarrett showed up on SmackDown the day before he was on GCW. Okay, that
Jeff
shit
Jarrett.
just
Okay, I was going to
happen
say Jeff
in
Jarrett showed up on
WWE.
GCW.
Okay, that shit just doesn't happen. Okay, it does not happen in
The
WWE.
fact that
It
he
is its
agreed
own
to
fucking
wrestle that
ecosystem.
gentleman in GCW is fucking just horrific to stand across the ring from.
Okay, we're talking about the Fiend right now. We're not talking about Jeff Jarrett and Effie.
I'm sorry, you brought it up, asshole.
No, I didn't. Tom did.
You did. You totally talked about Jeff Jarrett, and then I started talking about Jeff Jarrett and how the Fiend doesn't really matter because there should not be a forbidden door, and the Fiend should be able to wrestle wherever he wants because he doesn't have a contract because he's an independent wrestler right now. Who also happens to film a movie?
I think Effie's funny.
So let's hit it. So this happened. Okay, GCW, Game Changer Wrestling.
It really is Game Changer Wrestling, isn't it?
Hammerstein Ballroom.
It's Matt Cardona Wrestling is really what it is.
Ooh, GCW fans might come after you with their knives and their sticks and their barbed wire.
He clearly has heat. Because if they would stab me over saying that, he clearly has heat. Like, he's not a face of GCW. He's the heel of GCW. By the way, Joey Janela is doing way more in GCW than he's done. That's it.
Oh shit, we didn't talk about that. I forgot about that.
I was going to say, are we not going to talk about the soon and upcoming?
We can get into that after we talk about
it. Okay, because we need to talk about Leo Rush.
The soon to be dearly departed. The departed.
Yeah.
Departed. How is he? How old was he? The departed. Anyway, sorry. Go on.
So GCW happens last night. Card, pretty decent little card, I guess. Overall, the show wasn't that great from what I'm hearing. I've not watched it, but there was a lot of hype around it, right? Moxley was there, X-Pac was there, Sabu was there, Mick Foley was there, Jeff Jarrett wrestled on the card. Matt Cardona wore a thing that said a flannel that said "fuck Mick Foley" on the back.
He really did.
And
true story.
Moxley came out and had a GCW championship match with Homicide that Derek wants to jerk off about here in a minute. The Briscoes defended the GCW tag team titles against Nick Gage and some nobody. That lasted like 6 seconds.
Yeah, that's about right.
Jonathan Gresham, the Ring of Honor World Champion, was supposed to be there, but instead he got replaced by Leo Rush in a match. That's a great fucking substitution. Let me fucking tell you about this. Joey Janela took on Matt Cardona, the fucking heel of heels in all of Where are you going when we are talking about something that you should want to jerk off to? I can't stand him. I really can't stand him.
I think he's got to have one more of those Oreo poops.
I think he's either having an Oreo poop or he's getting a beer. We'll find out one way or another. Tom, what you read, what you hear, what you see, what you got on this show?
What did I read here? See, not a lot. I know what you just said and what happened. So I want to talk about Leo Rush replacing the current Ring of Honor champ. Like, At what John Gresham is, I mean, he's only like this big, but so is Leo Rush. But John Gresham is also like that wide of like just shredded man meat. I would love to see John. I'm a John Gresham fan, and he was replaced by Leo Rush, and I think that's a disservice to GCW because they've been doing a lot of good things. Cardona, I want to talk about Cardona for a minute. Mostly not because he fought Joey Janela. I'm sure that match was absolute hot garbage. Like I didn't see any clips from the match, but I
saw some clips. I saw our boy Joey just fucking flopping around like he got fucking shot.
I'm sure Cardona won, right? He won the match. Yeah. I feel like I watched this early. I looked at the like what happened earlier. Like Cardona won the match. I mean Joey Janela sucks. I don't know. Like GCW, like I thought. I heard that I don't even know what happened with because I want to watch it. I haven't yet. I apologize. I was buried in work and I started it last night on Sunday night because that's the kind of crazy person I am. So what happened with who won between Homicide and Mr. Moxley there? Did Homicide take the belt?
Walt, do you want to continue your spin on this, or did you want me to take over at some point?
Derek, have at it, because I'm going to blow both of your minds at the end of this segment.
Tell me what happened there, because I only saw I know that it happened.
All right, so it wasn't. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and blow rainbows and sunshine up your ass. It wasn't the greatest match in the world at all. It was nice to see Moxley back in the ring, though. Moxley looked tight and everything looked good, but it wasn't like
he looked good on Friday.
Holy shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was a good match. Moxley eventually won, with DDT through a chair, which was cool.
So he retained? Okay. I was sure he was going to drop it.
Yep, sure did.
But no,
that's only taken to defense in September too, which you got a couple months in there because of the rehab. So, but I'll be curious to see going forward how often he ends up showing up on GCW too.
Probably just for the pay-per-views, I would imagine. I can't imagine I can't imagine he'll be there too super often. I mean, maybe if paths.
I mean, he's their world champion though, so he's obviously a primary player in all this.
Yeah, big shoes to fill, or big things to do.
Big dreams, big dreams.
I feel like GCW, they're reaching the cusp, but they're hitting that early AEW lull. You know what I mean? Where it's like they're going to sort of pick up a bunch of those newly released AEW guys.
Yeah.
And plus Matt Cardona. And then they're probably going to lose some dudes and they're not going to get as much extra guys. And a lot of the other guys really do suck.
I'll tell you what I think what it is, and it's not my money, so I don't give a shit, but I feel like they're just hot-shotting anything they can get to get some attention.
I feel like they hot-shotted a lot of stuff, and we might be here at this point now where it's everything's going to fizzle out, and it's going to be we've got Nick Gage, and it's going to be oh, okay.
I don't know, man. The crowd is very, very into MGK.
Great. Well, he could be out there by
MDK.
Himself.
Yeah.
He could be
out he has a tag team partner in Matt Tremont that Walt called a no-name fucktard or whatever he said. I've actually seen Matt live. He's pretty badass.
Matt. What's wrong? Don't say that.
That's not what I said.
No, you totally said
called him a nobody. You called him a nobody.
I've seen him live. He totally exists. I've seen him. I've seen that man bleed all over me.
All right. Well, blow our minds. Boom. Because you seem shocked.
Tell me something.
What I
listen, I don't know that I can blow your minds, but I'm going to. So I look at GCW, right, and I look at the current state of professional wrestling, and you guys kind of touched on a couple of my points here, which is surprising enough to me. I cannot believe some of the things that came out of Tom's mouth. Back in the day when Vince had this vision of WWE as it is today, right, and went around and he bought up all the territories and sucked in all the talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're at a point in time in our lives where wrestling is the house that Vince built, and we're going through this renaissance of professional wrestling where we're kind of taking a couple of steps back from Vince's way of doing things, and more things are starting to pop up, right? So, what's to say that this isn't the talent, right? The performers taking wrestling back from Vince and creating their own little territory system that they can go out and do their thing and continue to hone their craft. And just like back in the day, obviously the NWA was the thing, right? But if you worked in Texas, you were a top guy in Texas, you went to another territory like the Carolinas, for instance, and you were billed as a top guy there because you were a top guy in Texas. Think about that. We're very much reapproaching the territory days where, WWE is going to be WWE and AEW is going to be the place that everybody wants to work. So they are going to be the Jim Crockett Promotions, right? That's going to be the AEW, and all these other little things like GCW, for instance, are going to start building these audiences with stuff like this, and they're going to feed to AEW. It's very much the talent taking back wrestling.
I think those are great points, honestly.
That's
and the fact that we have streaming now is another tool, whereas before it was just regional networks on your television. Now it doesn't matter where you are. I can watch anything I want. So yeah, that's a great point, honestly.
Truth be told,
I don't impressed by your depth with that thinking there, sir.
I agree with you wholly that I don't think GCW itself is going to take off in a way that where like it's like I don't know that GCW ever makes it to like ECW type standards, right?
It doesn't,
or even Impact status or anything.
And people still don't know about GCW if it's not for Jon Moxley, right? And Matt Cardona putting eyes on that product. And that's what I said. It's the talent taking back wrestling from Vince.
Yeah.
But no, because you're right. Because like whenever, like GCW doesn't necessarily get weekly and stuff, but like when they build to something, it's like, oh, this is going to be a big deal. Now, at the end of the day, is it a big deal? It's fine.
I'll be interested to see what the buy rate on the Fight app was.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll be interested to see that too. I do think that, I do feel like at some point GCW and Ring of Honor, or what's left of Ring of Honor, if Ring of Honor comes back, that all melds into a thing. At that point, that might become more of that ECW, but I don't know. It's like, I mean, what a great time to be a wrestling fan, right? Like we've got like WWE stopped is sort of like unsucking.
Yeah.
AEW is finally like finding their legs, which is fantastic. You got stuff coming up like GCW. Impact is doing really well. Again, finally, Impact goes in cycles, though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes Impact is good, and then it's terrible for like 2 years, and then it's good for like a year and a half, and then it's terrible for 2 years, and it's like cyclical. Yeah, it's all coming together.
And what part does social media play in all of this? Like that like you can just roll from one company, one territory to the next, and it's just still all makes sense, right? It's
well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think Matt Cardona's
that's more on the characters. The characters have to play a big part in that,
I mean, I think nobody's doing it better right now than Matt Cardona and
absolutely.
And oh God, what's his wife's name?
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green, yeah. Yeah, the hot mess.
The hot mess.
Nobody's doing it better than those two right now.
No, not at all.
As far as that's concerned, they're laying down the blueprint of how you do what they're doing, of how you do that, because you go from being a guy who was meh. Because like, let's face it, Matt Cardona never his ceiling was much below like what Keith Lee's ceiling was, right? What Karrion Kross's ceiling is, but
in the eyes of WWE,
I was gonna say it depends on who you ask.
I mean, in most.
I'm just saying right now, he's probably one of the most talked about people in all of pro wrestling.
Absolutely, and there's
multiple factors to being a top guy.
He's
it's not all in-ring ability. It's also selling yourself.
He's the Pete Rose of pro wrestling, right?
He's the Pete Rose. Jeez, that's a backhanded compliment.
He is the Pete. Now, I'm not saying he's gonna like become a manager and gamble on wrestling and get fired. You can gamble on wrestling and not get fired. It's predetermined. But he's the Pete Rose of wrestling. like non-manager Pete Rose, like player Pete Rose. Let's not talk about let's separate the player from the manager. He's player Pete Rose. There's your baseball callback for the day.
But I don't know, man. I'm into it. I hope that this continues to grow and flourish, and continues to give us some cool things to look at and watch. And hey, man, I'm into it, bro. And
we can talk about it, so that's fun.
Yeah, we've been talking about Cardona an awful lot, so he's out there doing something right.
We weren't talking about him when he was in WWE, that's for sure.
No, sure weren't. So, yeah. So speaking of WWE and not being talked about, Tom, you shared this with us.
I did.
Shout out to Tom.
Oh,
NXT 2.0.
55 minutes in, we're at the meat and potatoes, boys.
Apparently, there's internal belief that they're disappointed with the NXT 2.0 conversion. Tom, like, what's going on here?
Well, I think Derek put it best when immediately after I shared that. 30 seconds later, Derek says, "Yeah, we are too." and I mean, I can't knock him for that opinion, because he was. I placed the nail there, and I like held it with my little fingers here, and Derek was like bang, and so yeah, I mean, it. I feel like WWE is especially with NXT very keen to shoot themselves in the foot. NXT 2.0 was it felt like, to anybody who had watched NXT, which was over 1 million people at its height. Let's not forget, they had almost 1.1 million viewers the last Tuesday that they went up against Rampage Wednesday,
Dynamite.
when it was the Wednesday Night Dynamite. Yeah, they all had almost 1.1 million viewers at that point. Since rebranding to NXT 2.0, they have been hovering around the 500,000 mark. So it's half as good. And I would say from the Black and Gold's, repping the Black and Gold tonight, from the Black and Gold brand's peak, I would say that's correct. It's about half as good as it was at the peak. That's not to say that it's bad. It's not particularly bad. It's just not particularly interesting. There's really nothing going on. It really feels like a hostile internal takeover. And those of us who watched and loved NXT loved it. God, there was a whole year where NXT was the only show I was watching. Right? Like
Absolutely.
20
It was easily my favorite out of the three brands.
Yeah,
of WWE. Easily.
I mean, 2017-ish, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe even parts of 2019.
That's fair.
The only brand I was watching. Like, I paid for the WWE Network so that I could watch NXT. I can't say that I'm often bothered to watch it now. It's not that it's bad. It's just that I'm not interested. Because it really took what was, the best workers. They did the best workers, and they just gave them platforms from a man whose mind really had. It was like, imagine if Triple H. Think about how good everything Triple H, a lot of what Triple H did during the Attitude Era. It's like, okay, so that guy, Triple H, the guy that came up with all that DX stuff, rode the tank in WCW, came up with all the DX stuff, came up with the game, did all that guy. That guy wrote the whole show, but he had the best players to work with. The guys who worked better than any other guys. He had Johnny Gargano, he had Adam Cole, he had Tommaso Ciampa, he had who else? He had Finn Balor. He had, the list goes on. It's Samoa Joe.
Shinsuke was huge.
Remember Shinsuke Nakamura? Yes.
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura. He had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, he had AJ Styles for a while. You just want to talk about on and on and on. Like, this guy, he had the best talent in the world. And, that wasn't a WWE superstar. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to take my creative mind, which is better than Bruce Pritchard. Period. Is anybody going to argue that with me? Argue with me in the comments. Triple H has a better creative mind than Bruce Pritchard. Anyway, So he's going to take that creative mind and then just, here's an hour of television. And then, here's 2 hours of television every week. And it was like, especially when it's an hour of television, how tight and how good was that? Oh my God, every single week. It felt like how you want New Japan to feel. Like when you watch New Japan and when you see like the highlights of New Japan with like American commentary, and you see it's like, but it was that every week. It was like the best of the best of the best of the best, and the best storylines with stuff that makes sense, and everything just worked out perfectly. And then they turned it into back to sort of what Florida Championship Wrestling was, and that's really what it is right now. Braun Breaker's going to get over. I think the man's great. I think he's great in the ring. I think Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction are fantastic. They're absolutely like must-see TV, but you should really just watch those segments, right? They get 5 minutes a week.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's like it's a bunch of filler. It's very much like, you know.
Well,
Grayson Waller's getting over for me. Let me put it this way: it's more his social media than it is what he does on TV. But he's getting over to me. But it's like, other than like the few top guys who there's like 5, it's not as interesting.
So the guy that has I don't know, the Luther looking homeboy with him. I can't think of his name. He's all about, happiness and blah, blah, blah. But he's a heel.
Joe Gacy.
Yeah.
Gacy.
I'm a fan of that guy as well. One thing I didn't.
Yeah,
think
he's good. He's like one of the 5. He's one of the 5 for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a good one. But I don't think that Vince actually expected the amount of brand loyalty that he had. Not so much brand loyalty, I guess you could say, but more so Triple H loyalty. I mean, you can look at the Performance Center coaches that have all left now or have been released. And obviously Triple H's guys, all of them have been released.
Yeah.
And, wrestlers, the stories coming out of there as far as the releases go and everything. All this gets onto the internet, onto the interwebs, and then it gets on the Twitter. We all know about it. It's not just regional promotions anymore. Vince just can't seem to understand that everybody enjoyed this for a reason. There was the formula they had. And to just take it and just gut the entire thing, the fan base is going to react.
He couldn't have that living under his banner. It's not going to be in the way you
want it to. What's that?
Well,
he controls the narrative in his universe. His universe is God. He doesn't want to hear that other universes exist outside of his universe, and that's what NXT Black and Gold was about. Tom, I don't think that anybody on this show could have said that any better than you. It's like Black and Gold was just such a perfect fucking show. Like, everything about it made you want to tune in and watch. Everything. The environment, the fans, the matches, like the stories, everything about NXT Black and Gold was perfect, down to the finest detail. But instead of getting to continually enjoy that, they had to go and give us Florida Championship Wrestling all over again. Tom, that was a great line, bud. Like, that's the take of the week right there.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. It went from what was actually, it was never developmental. It was like, it was just a different take. It was something else, but it was done to a production standard and to a quality standard that had never been seen before in like an indie style, right? Like, so indie work rate matches were, we had been gushing over them for a long time, but and New Japan was putting them on, but it was always very like for a Japanese audience, right? It wasn't necessarily for an American audience. The American audience, the American professional wrestling audience, is different. And Triple H really took what New Japan was doing, and even took some of their stars like Shinsuke Nakamura, for God's sake. But they also took AJ Styles and Finn Balor, a bunch of other guys who were New Japan stars, but then put that together for an American audience. And man, did he it was like, I could see what's happening here. And the hardcore fans love this, but we can make this something that even the hardcorest of hardcore fans will still love, but like other people will love too. And then it was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. But you're right. It was, caught lightning in a bottle, and the bottle had to be opened up by a 76-year-old man with fucking bags under his eyes.
You said something there that really resonated with me, and you said it clearly was never developmental. What if it was really just developmental for a Triple H ran WWE? And that's where the problem lies, why we had to pull the trigger on everything and switch everything over. Because maybe Triple H was putting things together because he figured he'd be in the big man's shoes by now.
We all kind of figured that too, and we sort of hoped, especially when NXT was at its pinnacle, right?
Yes. It was the best wrestling show on television, hands down.
For
every
years,
single
though.
week.
For years,
For years. Because SmackDown and Raw were average at best, and NXT was the first thing I was watching every single week.
Well, and even when AEW started, NXT was still the better show, like by a large margin, particularly for that first year, regardless of who got the viewerships. It was NXT was still the better show. But now we hit this point now where it's just it's been, well, you tried, pal. I'm taking this back over. And it's like, okay, so now it's a disappointment internally because it's like, our views aren't, it's 500,000 people a week. That sucks. And it does. For them, it does suck. But at the same time, it's like, they took everything away that we liked, and they were just like, well, Mandy Rose is pretty. It's like, well,
that's the thing too, but like she's out there killing it though.
She is. Look, Toxic Attraction is absolutely like when they come out there, they're the highlight of the show.
Absolutely.
Right? Raquel Gonzalez, they're about to pull up to the main roster. They're just keeping her around because they need bodies for the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, they have bodies, all right.
Yeah, so they're just trying to keep her down there for now. But she's coming up probably right after Mania. And she's going to be a top star on a main roster. Like she can't not.
Yeah, as long as they don't fuck with her.
We'll see what happens. I mean, you see what happened to Shayna Baszler, but
I don't know, man. It's I could understand why there would be disappointment. It's a lot of change, man. Really, really quickly, and
turn the lights on. Shut the lights off.
They turn the lights off. Yeah, it's like you very much took a very dedicated and like passionate fan base and just said, "Here, have something different. We know you like chocolate, but we want you to try strawberry." And it's just not there, man.
Yeah, it's like I want the chocolate. Where did the chocolate go? It's like, oh well, the Undisputed Era, who were our top guys for like 3 years, they're actually on Wednesday now on TBS, and we're like, oh, I'm gonna watch TBS on Wednesday then, because those are the guys we watched, right? Although, at some point, not today, we need to discuss how the Young Bucks have sort of, if they're booking things, still have sort of been burying everybody that could come in and like overtake them as like better. Anyway, not important. I'm not gonna do this now. I don't want to talk about it now. We can't talk about this now. I just have feelings. I just can't. We can't now. We have other things to talk about. But NXT, I wish it was better. I really want it to be good because I really like Braun Breaker, a really, really lot.
Did we lose Walt? Or did we lose me?
No, we lost Walt, I think. I thought we lost me. I was like, oh no. Because you were like not moving either. He's so frozen. He's the frozen.
He looks good like that.
He does. Look how good he looks.
Yeah.
We should take a picture. What a good looking. That's a great shot of Walt. Look how good his shot is.
I just sent him a text. I wonder if he's.
We should probably text him. Yeah, hold on. I'll send the.
No, mine's stuck on delivered. Walt, I will go into match of the week, and you will like it.
Oh, he's gone. No, Walt. No.
Man, I really wanted to trash his outlook on GCW as well during my match of the week. That sucks.
Let's give him a minute, I suppose. Maybe he'll be
Of course.
back. But
Gotta love live television, ladies and gentlemen.
live TV.
So let's expand upon this little theory you have then about the Young Bucks just bringing in tag teams that they can shit upon, apparently.
So, okay. Hear me out. And I can't say that I built this theory on my own accord, right? So I was listening to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jim Cornette. And he said, they brought FTR in as soon as they realized FTR was way better than they are. They figured out a way that they could beat him and then bury him. And you haven't seen FTR now for months and months and months, not since the Young Bucks beat him. And then, after that, now they're doing the same thing, he says, with Adam Cole and Red Dragon. So, I think that O'Reilly and Bobby Fish kind of know what the Young Bucks are doing, and I don't know that it'll necessarily work, but they're certainly kind of burying the three of them in a way by, like, they're winning, but it's like they're kind of working with underneath guys, right? Huh. Like Adam Cole's not in a feud with Sammy Guevara, but it's just the way the whole EVP scheme seems to work. With the Young Bucks, it seems to work in a similar way as it does with Sammy Guevara, with Cody Rhodes, just as a little bit less of a, it's a little bit less, right? It's like it's dialed down a little bit because the Young Bucks are they're on every week, right? They don't take breaks.
Basically, yeah.
So,
but I really feel like the end game with that feud is gonna be Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks. Obviously.
I hope so.
Because Kenny's going to come back. We're just killing time for Kenny to come back. It's not like Brandon Cutler's going to get in there and take a bump.
That's a good point.
I mean, he could.
He could bump.
But,
why wouldn't he?
He'd have to first aid spray himself as he does it.
I love that he wears the face shield. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Well, you're an HD.
But, you look fucking horrible up close. Jeez.
Back up! There we go.
I'm on my phone.
We know. We figured it out.
I don't know, like my whole fucking thing just like shut off.
Like your PC or the whole internet?
No, like everything.
Like you got no power?
I have power. I don't fucking know, man.
That's fun.
Well, match of the week.
Should we move to match of the week? Derek and I carried the show because we're.
Yeah, it was fun. We talked about tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
We got big shoulders.
Back it up. Back it up. Too close.
You're fuck all ugly. Move back.
Back it up. You're just flipping it around now. Oh, he's gone. Shit. I mean, you can't play the music, though, for match of the week. What are we going to do? I wonder what shit went out. He probably blew a fuse.
Oh, yes.
Probably blew a fuse.
Something's going on. I don't know. That downstairs, it's a little funky. He and I did some remodeling down there, so
you wired it?
There was no contractor's licenses involved downstairs. Unless he's selling it, and then I will totally say otherwise.
Who got shocked?
No, it was good. We just added some walls, threw up some shit,
Did anybody get...
Not that I remember. No.
Okay.
It wasn't too terrible. I've done much worse on a construction job.
I've been in this house before a couple times.
The last time I did it, I was trying to put up a light outside of on my front porch. My grandparents walked up because they're like diagonal from me, about the football field this way.
Mm-hmm. You guys all live in the
so they walked up to just investigate and say hello. It was summertime, and I'm holding a knife in one hand, and I've got the wires here in another hand, and somehow I shocked the shit out of myself, dropped the knife between my feet, which I'm in flip-flops, so luckily that just hit the porch and, stabbed the porch and let out the loudest, fuck, right in front of my 80-year-old grandparents. That I'm like, Sorry. Let's just move past that. You've never heard that. Nothing happened here. How are you guys?
Only a little bit twitchy. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm cussing in front of my grandparents. That's the only time I've ever cussed in front of my grandparents. That's horrible.
These little lightning bolts shooting back and forth between your eyeballs.
Goodness.
It's funny.
I don't know what to do, man. You got a good match of the week? What do you think?
Do I got a good match of the week? Yes, actually. So I went back and forth between a ton of matches this week, and I'm like, is this my match of the week? Is this my match of the week? My match of the week, I think, because hopefully this means that something is going to happen with them, was Los Lotharios, which is Angel Garza and what's his face, the other guy, versus the Viking Raiders. This match was
this on SmackDown by chance?
Yes, it was phenomenal.
Okay, I did not watch SmackDown, so that makes sense.
It was phenomenal. So, I mean, so the end of the match really was because the move they've dubbed the Viking Experience is a pop-up power slam, but Eric pops them up and Ivar catches them and kaboom. This was so smooth, and so, I mean, but the whole match was great. Like, it was just power moves, and like even like Los Lotharios got in a bunch of moves. Really just went really. It only got a couple minutes, like 2-3 minutes, but it got a few minutes, and everybody got a little bit of action in. I mean, it was really very story heavy this week, but like
it really was. Yeah, we discussed that earlier in the show.
This match really, to me, made a lot of sense because it got like 3-ish minutes, but then like it ended correctly in the way that like the Viking Raiders generally would win a match in a quick succession, but it was so smooth and it was so good and it just worked the whole time. And like, we're already on match of the week, buddy. We just moved on without you, but I did.
You're good. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he did. It was really good.
It was real good. I'm very good like that. So my match of the week, buddy, was Los Lotharios versus the Viking Raiders.
Oh, you fuck.
I stole it. I stole one. I stole it.
Oh, you fuck.
I stole it out from underneath him. Dude, I went back and forth a bunch. I was like, is it Hook versus Serpentico? Because I really liked the streamers, and then like getting his ass beat in the streamers
with the streamers. Yes,
I really liked that, but it was sort of too short. And like, had he not the segment like at the end with QT Marshall, had he not had that at the end of it, or had he just given him the finger or something, I feel like that would have been better. Because like when
but they're building him a Dynamite storyline with QT Marshall.
Yeah, but like
and his whole faction of misfits,
and that's fine. But I get it. But like QT Marshall held the mic as he was getting picked up. He held it to his mouth, like, what the hell? What's going on? Oh my god! Like it was not. I don't know. That was a botch. Like QT Marshall particularly was a botch for me. I don't know. But otherwise, yeah, it was Los Lotharios versus Viking Raiders. Just loved it.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it.
And I hope that this is probably why, is that this is the start of something with the Viking Raiders to sort of build them back towards being main event tag team players. So fingers crossed for that, because if they continue to do that every Friday, I'm here for it.
Yeah, good stuff.
Little dickbag Derek.
So there was actually, man,
Derek might have a hammer. You don't even know. He might have a hammer in his pants.
Well, there was a lot of close ones. You know, like obviously you mentioned the Hook match was good. I really wanted the Anna Jay versus what's her face match to be good, but it was not. It was quite fucking terrible. And Anna Jay, as much as I like her as far as a character, her wrestling skills suck.
She cut a pretty bad promo too. I just want to point out that her
Yeah.
promo sounded very much like this, and I was like, no. And I've watched it a couple times. Like maybe I was being mean. I'm like, there was so flat.
Man, it was rough. It's bad. But yeah, that was disappointing because I was hoping for something good there. But I did find something good in GCW and Walt. It seems like you thought this was a bullshit dickbag match. The main event of the Briscoes versus Matt Tremont and Nick Gage.
Like
It's not so much. Hold on. Let me just give you a quick sell. It's not so much the match. It's the environment of the crowd, the appreciation from the performers coming out. It's just all, as you would say, it's all love. It's all family. Dude,
I get it,
it's
bud.
awesome. I love it.
Bud. But like,
It's great.
the Briscoes, pal, you made them look like shit.
I mean, they could have lost to much worse opponents. I mean, they did lose to their top guy.
I mean, just the way that it went down is what I'm talking about. That's what fucking frustrates me.
Yeah, something was up there, man. There's no way that was the finish and that it was supposed to be like an 8-minute match.
They're claiming pay-per-view time constraints on Twitter.
I've heard that like 11 o'clock it had to be over, and there's a curfew in New York City, and blah blah blah. But I was happy to be back at the Hammerstein, and obviously with the Briscoes losing the tag team belts, kind of gets the gears turning in your head. Like, so what's that mean?
Oh, it's coming.
Does that mean they're moving? I mean, it doesn't have to mean they're moving, because obviously Moxley's their world champ. And he's in AEW. But could it be that they need an extended run somewhere else?
I mean, are they chooches now, though? Like, did they just make the Briscoes some kind of chumps? Because I feel like they did. I mean, I don't know that enough eyes were on this to make it a big deal.
But, yeah, but still, man.
I don't know, man. And they were against respectable competitors, though. It wasn't like they were against... And it was a death match.
Chooches. No, these guys are chooches. Like
no.
Nick Gage is a chooch. Nobody doesn't think Nick Gage... Look, nobody who actually likes wrestling doesn't think Nick Gage is a chooch. And nobody even knows who this other chooch is. So, like...
I know who the chooch is.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so glad...
Well, then you're a chooch.
Then you're a chooch. So I'm so glad these guys who are missing teeth, who, like, are... What did Jim Cornette call them? Bank-addicted drug robbers. Are out here... fucking beating like one of the best tag teams in the world in the Briscoe. Look, that's fine. Look, you're gonna come to AEW, you can put the Briscoes in AEW and have them get beat by the Young Bucks. They're gonna have the Briscoes get beat by the Young Bucks again in AEW. The Briscoe, so the Young Bucks are gonna beat the Briscoes in AEW. They're gonna bury them like Cody Rhodes buried fucking Andrade. I
thought we weren't getting into this.
I'm into it. I'm already there. Derek and I already talked about this. We're past it. But like, no, these fuck Nick Gage. Like Nick Gage is my new Joey Janela, right? And now they're going to be in the same promotion, so I can talk about both of them. Great. Maybe they should pizza cutter each other, and then they could throw each other's dicks at each other, and that would be great. In fact, that's the match I want to see from the both of them, the pizza cutter dick match where they pizza cutter each other's dicks off and they just throw them at each other, and that can be a match.
They can have deathmatch.
They can have 15 minutes of throwing their own dicks at each other, and we'll call it art. How about that? Well, match of the week.
My match of the week was Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander and Orange Cassidy.
Well, that was a horrible fucking match.
No, it wasn't. It was a great match. It was
fantastic.
Bullshit.
The end was great.
Absolutely.
Dude,
fantastic.
I don't want to see Britt Baker and Adam Cole have an on-screen relationship one bit. Fuck this.
Well, she's the baddest bitch on the block. She can do whatever she wants, pal.
Well, she's also the most wrestler of 2021. That's
well. Can I tell you guys? Can I tell you a story? And in case you've not noticed,
no, because you're never going to sell me on it. But go ahead.
Adam Cole is absolutely the current largest face of the AEW brand.
Yeah,
and Britt Baker is also the current largest female face of the AEW brand. And now you bring them together and it's double the exposure. It's just good business, pal.
I don't like it.
Adam Cole has replaced Kenny Omega as the focal point of the Young Bucks elite thing right? And then you add Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish to the mix, and now you're getting this little brewing thing. And like, I mean, this
much
makes
to the chagrin
perfect
of the
sense.
Bucks, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin of the Bucks.
Because Adam Cole
Baby.
is AEW.
Boom.
So, I don't really care that him and Britt have an on-screen relationship because they're still both bad as fuck.
Stupid.
As long as it goes better than the Becky and Seth on-screen thing, I'm here for it.
Oh, that was brutal.
Right? How bad was that? That was terrible.
Oh.
That might have been honestly that might be it's probably top 3 worst ones.
Oh, that's vomit. Oh.
It was real bad. It was cringy. Even they knew it was cringy. Like they'd go out and like you could tell they didn't want to do what they were doing. And they were like they'd give each other a kiss at the end. And they were like, "Did you feel comfortable kissing in front of 50?" No, I didn't. That was awful.
I don't feel comfortable holding hands at Walmart. There's no fucking way I'm gonna kiss somebody in front of 100,000 people.
What's the matter? What, you're not comfortable holding hands at Walmart?
No, man, I'm just weird about public
But you
space
married?
affection. Like, I
Like,
don't do it.
you
Yeah, I
fucking-
am married.
you
I have
fucking-
been for years.
Wait,
Nope.
you fucking you 5?
I don't like it. It's weird.
I like to hold my wife's hand in Walmart. I don't go to Walmart actually, and I don't hold my hand.
No, you go
my
to
wife.
Tom
Target.
goes to
I
Target.
do. I
Yeah,
get
he's
Target.
fucking fancy.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
let's not lie here.
You know what? You look. I pay $5 more for the whole whatever I buy to go to Target, just so I don't have to go to Walmart. It cost me like $5 more to go to Target, and I'm happy with that purchase.
Is it because
I
you were
agree.
checked out by a man at self checkout or at the regular checkout? Does that make you feel better about your purchases?
About a checkout by what? How much?
Nah, I use a self-checkout
By a gay
at
guy.
Target too, bud.
I don't care.
No, you can't. No, I wasn't trying to say anything about that. Like, I just always find it that the Target always has gay people at the checkout thing, which are always
Because
super
they're
nice.
an equal opportunity employer.
They're
pal.
equal opportunity.
They're
employer.
very, very equal. They're almost like they're taking full advantage of that tax credit.
Truth be told, I feel like I'm generally
Not that I have
checked
a
out
problem
at
at all.
I'm
but it's
generally
just-
checked out at Target by like a middle-aged woman, usually.
Really?
And she's like, it's like, have you ever seen the like Target lady skit on
It's
on
fucking
SNL?
hilarious. Yes.
It's I feel like that's the target. Like that's my target. He's like,
You're
where are
going
you?
to the wrong Target because, like, I'm judged on my style and this every time I go through the line.
I mean, I just go to the one in Robinson. I just go and like, there's like a middle-aged lady who asks my kids like, "Do you want a sticker?" And they're like, I'm like, "No, don't give it to them. They're gonna put it on the window in my car." And they're like, "Yeah, we will." And she's like, "All right, never mind."
Yeah, we will.
Like my
It's a
kids,
piece of shit anyways. What's the matter?
No, get the fuck out of here. Actually, I think I'm gonna sell the Mustang.
Are you
What,
really?
what did I miss while I was gone?
You
Goodness
missed.
gracious.
I don't know. I'm Derek's sister's favorite apparently, and he's salty about that because he's from West Virginia.
All I
Just
know
kidding.
is I came
kidding, I
back.
know you
You
don't have a
two
sister.
argued about something while I was gone.
No, we were actually really kind to each other.
We really were. We're really nice to each other when you're not here.
I just
All
like
right.
to turn it on every once in a time. Just fucking hammer into Tom because it's fun.
It's fun because I take it and throw back, and it's like it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not easily offended. What the fuck was that?
It's my wife's ass.
What the
Honey, enough.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
The bathroom's on the other side of the wall
Check
here.
us
so
out
I'm
on
sorry,
social
guys.
media at
Sorry.
@1_fall WC. Listen, catch you next week, Monday, 7:30. I'm sure we'll have a lot of shit to talk about, including apparently whatever that noise was that came from Derek. With all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.
Honey, you farted too early.
Gotta end the video.